yet again. What are we going to talk about? Stick around, find out.
Brand new banger.
It's Knucklehead Comics Tuesday. It's fucking Tuesday. We got Lay in the building. We got Cap in the building. Cabs can't make it tonight, but he's here in spirit. On Lay.
No, man, just chilling, brother, chilling.
What's up, Cap? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Is that and the father goes shamefully? That's my son. And the other guy goes shamefully. Orion goes, that's my father. Choose fear and hate to run your life. Something you can't do. That was wrong with me from the beginning. I was doing it that way. I was gonna go down that path. I worried.
You thought it was Grayson?
Sorry, got hurt. Like not him. Not him.
Back his brain for somebody, anybody that can help, and remembers. Freeze.
The media.
Randall Savage.
Randall Savage. With his knowledge and all other shit and his capacity to learn.
Absolutely.
This is the only vegan I'll ever eat is grilled chicken wings, because that's like vegan to me. You know what I'm saying? Because the chicken wings are supposed to be fried, but you grill the chicken wings, you put it in some sauce, and give it some blue cheese.
Is vegan.
That's vegan. Like regular moo cow fuck milk, put it in some Honey Nut Cheerios, vegan, because Honey Nut Cheerios is good for your heart. You know what I'm saying? And I steal the question from Cabs.
I got it right.
I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal. I would also like to steal.
You're too late.
Wow.
I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right. And I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go! Yeah! Let's go! Here I go, I get lit, I get hyped for this shit! Right.
Word. He be like, I got a left elbow and a right elbow. I can break your face with an any elbow. Make sure that you get elbowed in your elbow with an elbow. Got the arm ball, get the phone ball, get around with the bomb ball.
Daddy's gonna take you to Jersey Shore.
What is up, everybody? It is Tuesday night. It is comic book night here in the Knucklehead Network, and you're stuck with me tonight. And again, if you watched the little promo that we did earlier, you know that this isn't Cap talking to you. This is not Cap talking to you. Irony right here. This is Vic coming through. We're going to talk about some shit that I'm into. We're going to talk a little bit about business, about what Bo DeMaio, the original showrunner of X-Men 97, some comments he made. We're going to talk about there was a little scuffle between unnamed actors on the set of Avengers Doomsday. We're going to talk about TTRPGs, Daggerheart, D&D, a little bit about what Critical Role's doing, a whole bunch of shit. And finally wrap it up with my review of the movie Weapons that we saw over the weekend. Again, if you watch the channel, we did the short with our out of the theater reactions. I'm going to give you a little bit more thoughts on that. So, again, bear with me. I don't normally run shit here, so I'm going to try to run the chat. If we got chat up, if anybody else joins, we're going to get them in here. Start things off with a little bit of the news here. So, Bo DeMaio. This is the gentleman who was, again, the original showrunner of the X-Men 97 cartoon series that aired on Disney+. He was unceremoniously relieved of duty when it came out that he had, I believe it was because of his OnlyFans account and other shit that was going on. He recently came out and stated that there was... Oh. Hey, here we go. We got Show right here. What's up, Show?
Damn, Skippy, what's up? You thought you was gonna leave me out?
I Do you know what we're talking about?
Nope, I never do.
There you go. So right now we're talking about Bo DeMeo. Uh, I'll explain it to you again in case you didn't hear. So this is the showrunner, the guy who did the X-Men '97 cartoon for Disney Plus.
Nice.
Yeah. So remember, he was fired because he had his OnlyFans account and some other shit was going on.
Damn.
Yeah. So he had a story or an interview in which he said that Kevin Feige and the other producers at Marvel Studios didn't like him, were targeting him, and didn't like the X-Men '97 show because all the fans essentially were saying, "Hey, why does Marvel suck now? It should be more like X-Men '97." And what do you call it? Kevin Feige and the other producers, they didn't have a role in X-Men '97. It wasn't. They couldn't attach their names to it and say that, "Hey, this was our thing." So it was a separate thing that was getting praised. Which, if you watch this channel, you know how much we love the show. We said it
Yeah, I
when
loved
it
it
came out.
myself.
Say again.
I loved it myself.
Yeah, we were saying how that it was the best thing Marvel has put out when it came out, which is what Kevin Feige was mad about. He didn't show up to the premiere. He didn't give them any money or anything to do a rap party. Bo DeMeo had to do it on his own, and essentially it was a big hissy fit being thrown because Marvel proper wasn't able to consistently put out good products. But here comes somebody new who put out a continuation of something from 30 years ago, and it hit on all cylinders with all parts of the fan base.
I understand him. Oh, you like his stuff, but you don't like mine's? He's hurt.
Yeah, but you would think that if you're the head of Marvel Studios, you take any win you can get. You're hearing nothing about. You're hearing that show after show, movie after movie, people are not feeling it. They're not into it. They're not returning the investment in the box office. Then here comes X-Men '97. You're about to reintroduce the X-Men into your movie universe. Why would you not be over the moon?
Word. Take that win and hire the guy.
This, I think next week when Toe comes back, he's got a topic on the whole like the fandom possibly turning on Marvel and shit like that, so we can get into it at that time. But it's just fucking strange. This whole because I didn't do it, it shouldn't count fucking mentality that certain people have.
It's not even that. I think it's more. I wish I was getting the props that show was getting.
Yeah, but who? Sure. Before I even said this story, before we even started talking about this right now, did you know that Kevin Feige had nothing to do with it?
Nope,
Do you even know who Kevin Feige is?
I do.
All right.
You guys mention him so much. You guys love this guy. I'm being sarcastic.
I mean, shit. I didn't even know that Kevin Feige didn't have anything to do with this.
Could have played along with it.
Yeah, he could have just not said nothing. And if fans were sitting there going, "Yo, Marvel needs to be more like this," just turn around and go, "You're right. We're striving to make our content as strong as this." But it's just fucking egos right now.
You could just hire the guy to do part two. Janelle, what's up?
What's up there? Uh yeah. Are you? I don't even know now what's gonna happen with the second season because DeMayo's he's out. We now know that there's this big rift apparently between this animated show and the Marvel proper. Like, are they gonna treat it like Eyes of Wakanda, where hey, they just put it out and don't say shit about it? More importantly, are the fans gonna lampoon it because are they not even gonna give it a chance because Bo DeMayo's not attached to it this go around?
Y'all got it. Y'all love y'all. Y'all love y'all Marvel. Y'all want to see it. Would you boycott it?
If given the proper reason, yeah. Dude, you forget, Joe, I was the one who 2 years ago was talking about how Marvel should just stop making movies. Like, you're failing so much, just stop. Give it a second, let it breathe, give it a few years for everybody to miss the product and come back. So yeah, I would fucking, if given the right reasoning, yeah. Shit, I stopped watching wrestling. I like there's plenty of shit that I was into that I've stopped.
I wonder how many more fans are like you.
I'm shit. Apparently a lot. We got Cap failed to turn a profit in the theatrical window. Thunderbolts failed to turn a profit in the theatrical window. Fantastic Four is about $90 million from turning a profit. So they might be profitable based on all the ancillary shit and all the tie-ins with the toys and maybe what they do on streaming. But in the theatrical window, that was a fail. It didn't fucking make money. This is one I think of what 7 years, the seventh time since 2000 that Marvel has put out a comic book movie and it wasn't the number one comic book movie of the year. Superman did that, and even Superman's not even a fucking financial success in the theatrical window.
They sure made up with it with Deadpool Wolverine though.
Yeah, but so that was last year, but Deadpool and Wolverine, that's that's a cheating thing because we already have Hugh Jackman coming back. He was gonna wear the costume. This is like Ryan Reynolds' like last actual movie to play the character. That was so baked in that couldn't fail. That it's a surprise that it succeeded as much as it did. Not a surprise that it succeeded. And Leon, I essentially stopped watching wrestling for real about 3 years ago.
What's up, man?
Yeah, wrestling's no longer about storytelling in the ring, and most of the main event matches are not about actual wrestling. They're all bullshit. Let's brawl on the outside, but it's no longer the thing I grew up watching, so I just stopped. Plus, where else can what else could I have possibly root for when I was there live in the building at Arthur Ashe Stadium the night Sting was saved by the Great Muta, two of my absolute all-time favorite fucking wrestlers in the ring at one time. I mean, that's the pinnacle, right? Like you can't get any better than that.
I was there with you.
Yeah, that was one of the rare times that we were all out there. So, what do you call? What are your any final thoughts on this story here before we move on?
No, sir. You shall continue.
Always contributing. So the next little bit of news that we got here is apparently on the set of Marvel's Avengers Doomsday, there was a rift between two actors which were not named, but they were two high profile actors from what the report said.
Robert Downey.
We don't know who it was.
I'm just saying that has to be one.
Yeah. But the report goes that one of them made a joke about the other one, but they don't know each other that well. And the one dude or girl, whoever it is, made a joke that hit a little bit too close to home and wasn't funny for the other one. And it was gonna cause a big rift to where they were like, "Yo, I don't want to shoot scenes with this person," and they were threatening to take action that would have cost massive amount of money in reshoots and refiguring out how to do shit. So, the Russo brothers and the studio exec stepped in and they put a plan together that was amicable enough for both parties to come in. They squashed everything. And as far as I'm aware, the production is back on schedule and there's not going to be a delay.
I want to try to guess who it is. Who came in? Is somebody new that hasn't been around?
Well, here's the funny thing. They just announced that Ryan Reynolds is showing up as Deadpool. And he just got there to film.
Perfect. He looks like he has the attitude. Okay. And Tony
So,
Stark, maybe?
for legal reasons, these are all guesses onto the allegations. There's no concrete proof by us at the Knucklehead Network, nor are we saying definitively who the fuck did what. So go ahead, make your guess.
Correct. I'm trying to guess the second person. Who would make a joke? Robert Downey.
Yo, here's the thing, right? They said that Deadpool's gonna be in it. They're already halfway through filming the movie. I honestly think it's Pedro. I would think it's Pedro Pascal and somebody else.
Ryan Reynolds.
I don't
Acting
think
as
it'd be
Deadpool.
Ryan because he just got there.
Okay.
Like to just get there and this story come out would it wouldn't make it wouldn't make sense because again part of the thing was they'd have to spend a ton of money to try to rework scenes and do other shit. If Ryan just got there, like you wouldn't have to worry about it because they wouldn't have shot scenes already.
Damn. I'm gonna say something, and I hope I'm gonna sound so racist. Oh shit. I don't think it's Pedro. It has to be two people that have pool. I think it's two white people, bro. Cause Pedro will say something. No, I want to sue. They'll get another Mexican immediately. Fuck out of here. But it
Dude,
has to be two people that can't replace white, like white problem. Like, damn, that
you
sounds
think
so
they can
wrong.
replace Pedro Pascal?
A lot. They could replace him a lot easier than they could replace Ryan Reynolds or Robert Downey.
Dude, but all right. But see, here's the logic. Here's the flaw in your logic. If it was Ryan Reynolds and the dude didn't want to, and whoever it was didn't want to shoot scenes with him, they could have just had a stunt man in the suit and then tell Ryan go home and we'll have you record your lines in the audio booth and we'll add it in. Like he probably has to do anyway for the scenes in which Deadpool wears the mask. So he films all of his shit outside of the mask with nowhere near the other actor. And when they're interacting, it's just a stuntman and him. It wouldn't have been an issue.
Okay. See, we eliminate process of elimination.
I don't like this game, man, because my guess maybe Simu Liu. because I know he gets in trouble almost every other month for saying some stupid shit.
Who was that?
Shang-Chi.
Like, oh shit. And he's new.
But I don't even know if he's even in this fucking movie.
I think you read he was in the when you gave the roster.
I'm gonna look it up again right now, real quick. You guys talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, like he said, for legal reasons, we just joking around and guessing.
For for legal purposes, there was no altercation on the set of Avengers Doomsday. This is all made up in fiction by a show.
Correct.
Let's see. Oh yeah, he's in it.
There you go, new guy. But he's not pro. Is he? He got pulled like that?
No, so
I'm
it's
not
not
trying to change the movies.
it's not the dude who it's not the dude who made the joke that has the pull. It's the dude who didn't like the joke who has the pull.
Okay, so we're guessing Shang-Chi is the guy that made the joke.
I mean, that's what I would guess. If because from the reports, it made it seem like the guy who made the joke not only doesn't know the other actor that well, but didn't have the time put in to even to even be comfortable to even have been comfortable enough to
To
make
say,
a joke like that.
oh shit, it was Shang-Chi and Robert Downey. Hey Robert, how's the coke? Ew, get out.
Yo, I mean that would be a hilarious bit if he was just drinking a Coca Cola.
You on to something. You always did like coke.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yo, I once made that joke. You know how you could buy certain Coke bottles and it's like made in Mexico? I don't know if they have that in Jersey, but here in New York, they because it's like made with real cane sugar in the Mexico factory and shit like that.
Is it in glass bottles?
Yeah. So I put one on the counter, and as the lady's going to ring it up, I look at her. It's like I always like my Coke from Mexico. She did not laugh.
Nope.
So maybe that was that. So we just figured it out. We just figured it out. I was the one who made the joke, and the cashier lady was the one who didn't like the joke on the set of Avengers.
There it is. Now she don't want to ring you up ever again.
I gotta switch stores now.
Word. I don't want to be in the store whenever he's in the store.
Dude, now here's a question for you: Are you one? Are you surprised that this happened? This type of altercation happened. Two, are you surprised that we haven't heard anything like this with any of the other fucking Avengers movies?
I feel like since the other Avenger movies were like shot together amongst them, they were close already. They already had to do tours. They had to go around. This movie involves new people plus us. So imagine us knuckleheads going to the park with another group of people, a new group of people that we're gonna stream with. It's like, who are these guys? You know, they're like, you still don't like. We cool, okay? We in the same room, but we not cool. Cool. You can't just joke with me. I don't know you.
Yeah,
So I think it's all in the changes since they're adding new people. New people show up excited. Shoot, like me, I would show up to a movie set all happy, make a joke. Somebody might take it offensive. Oops.
Damn. So so me and you would have ruined Marvel's Doomsday.
Nah, I think I know. I know when to say inappropriate jokes. When I know who to say jokes to. That's the problem with the guy that whoever did the joke, he didn't know. Like you ain't cool with this person.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. As somebody who doesn't actually have an ego, I can't see I can't see being that upset at somebody making an ill-timed joke or a joke that didn't land, and being like, "Yo, stop the movie. We got to change this entire shit right now." Like,
Only
especially off a joke.
only a cocaine. That's why I said coke. That's the only type of joke I see. Like, can you think of anybody else that would be so personal that it hits home? That's the only thing I think about. Like, he went
Well, I
to
mean, it could be. I mean, it could be literally anybody. Like, they could be two of the women who talk shit about
true,
something.
true. They
Maybe
might be offended.
maybe the joke was said to Ryan Reynolds, and they were joking about what happened with Blake Lively and her case with the dude from her movie. I mean, there's a myriad of things that could be said.
This is crazy. We'll see. Let me go check the Twitters of everybody.
Yeah, see who's not saying shit, then we'll parse it down.
Word.
I read a comment on the report that I was reading. 'Cause I saw a video of a guy reporting it, and then I read a report that basically just took what he said in the video and pasted it in the report. But one of the comments was, "Yo, if you're not gonna tell us the names, don't bother telling us the story." And a part of me kind of agrees because we're sitting here going, "Hey, two people did a thing and they made up. Who? We don't know. What was said? We don't know." Like, are we really reporting on something?
Nope. But that's the thing about potting. Sometimes you could just go on rants or whatever you want and be entertaining. We good. That was an entertaining talk. Shoot. I'm still trying to think. Who the hell had a riff?
Yeah, while we're on this subject, since you didn't jive too well with Fantastic Four, uh, are you going to be confused with Avengers Doomsday?
I'm always confused. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay,
And but that's why I have you guys here, and that's why we come to this show. Yeah, you guys put me on point.
all right. Better question: are you going to, what do you call it? Do you think you would be able to enjoy and follow the story of Avengers Doomsday?
I think so. And the reason I answered before the way I did is because I already know I'm not gonna know Jack. Cause the person that Robert Downey is playing, I don't know who he is. I don't know his powers. I don't know what he does. I don't know how strong he is.
You don't know Doctor Doom,
I don't know what he does. Like I don't know anything about him. You This is gonna be my first time encountering him. So
really?
yeah, bro, this is what I'm saying. As soon as you said, "Yo, you gonna understand?" Nope.
Huh? So you've
When
never
I
heard
watched
of?
Thanos, I didn't know who Thanos was or what he did. Actually, you guys explained it to me that he was this and that. And you guys explained to me who Thanos was. I watched the movie as a regular fan. Oh, Thanos the bad guy. Okay, if he gets all the rings, he's powerful. Nice.
Okay. Huh. You've never even heard of the name before.
Oh, I've heard of it. Uh, Definitely, I've heard of it, and I've probably seen what he looks like in the
You didn't see
comics.
the original Fantastic Four movies back in the early 2000s?
I did.
He was the bad guy in those films.
I gotta rewatch him.
Oh, I'm
I don't know
a
why I keep picturing somebody with like a green helmet.
I mean, you're not too far off. Let me get a good picture. Can you see the screen, or you just?
Yeah, yeah, I'm watching. I see him. Yep,
Yeah,
I
I
seen him
don't know how to
before.
manipulate this, so I'm not touching the single shot to multi shot shit.
No, no, it's good. I saw it.
So,
I've seen him before. I just don't know what he does.
all
Like I
right,
said,
so here's what he does.
I
Super mega genius was able to meld technology and magic. All right, he's got magic on or knowledge of magic on the level of sorcerer supreme. Mastery of technology on par, if not better, than Tony Stark. He's the leader of Latveria, a country in which none of his fucking people want for anything. Nobody has to work. Nobody goes hungry. There's no crime. People think he's I mean, he technically is a dictator, but people think that life over there is horrible when it's really not.
he's
He's
Fidel
a good
Castro.
he's a good leader. But now here's where his fucking problem is. He's mega. I, for some reason, my ability to say words has diminished, and it's probably your fault hanging around with you so much.
I do apologize.
So this motherfucker is so ego driven that he has conquered Asgard. Which I mean, he took over the Odin force and was ruling Asgard. He stole the power of the Beyonder. The Beyonder is one of the oldest living beings in the Marvel universe and is like a fucking like one of the gods of the Marvel universe. He's taken the power of the Silver Surfer. He has held the Infinity Gauntlet on his own. He has literally become a god himself. He fought the devil to get his mom back. He's he is the most successful Marvel villain that has ever been conceived.
Thanos times two. I see.
Huh?
I say he's Thanos times two. I see.
Oh, he's even worse than Thanos. Thanos succeeded one time in killing half the universe, and you know they reversed that. Doom every 10 seconds you turn around, Doom has done some other shit that now Marvel's got to deal with. Like he's got his own. I
Surprise.
don't know if there's still a run like that, but I think in 2023 to 2024 there was a run where the X-Men were once again on the outs. Mutant kind was going through some shit, so Doctor Doom just made his own fucking X-Men team. Doctor Doom got bored of being a god, and after the events of Secret War, the new Secret War, where he created Battle World and put everybody together, he said, "Fuck it, Tony Stark's dead." He became Iron Man. And for the 2 weeks that he was Iron Man, he was the best Iron Man that the MCU has seen.
Holy shit! You just said the movie.
I mean,
No wonder.
that's not gonna be the movie. But
Robert Downey. No wonder.
yo, did you saw Fantastic Four, right?
Yeah,
You saw the end credit scene, right?
yeah. When he got the baby.
Yeah. So
Sorry
that's
to.
That, according to reports, that's the Doctor Doom that we're gonna see in Doomsday.
Fire. Is the baby gonna be in Doomsday too?
Probably. I mean, there has not been like an official report of what this movie's about. So as of right now, as of right now, this movie's about that one time Doctor Doom went to go get a coffee at the local coffee shop, and they spelled his name wrong, and he talked to the manager for an hour and a half.
And Chun-Chi said a fucking joke. Got it.
Yeah.
That
Speaking of
dude's got
which,
a. I got a quick question for you. Is there anywhere I could go to actually get informed about Doctor Doom? Like, is he in cartoons? Is he in? You said Fantastic Four, 2000. So I'm gonna go see that.
yeah, I mean he's in a lot of cartoons and shit, but not to the extent. To be honest, the best thing for you to do if you really want to educate yourself on what Doom has done is to find somebody who's done a comprehensive history of Doctor Doom on YouTube. Because in order to get to know him proper, you got to know what he's done in the comics. Because in the cartoons, they literally can't let him do anything because the good guys got to win. So he's not as effective in media as he is in the comics.
I heard Thanos is the same.
Yeah, I mean to really get a sense of everybody, you'd have to read the comics. I mean I guess that's the problem with the Fantastic Four movie is that everybody was comic book accurate, but if you only know them from the cartoons or the movies, the other movies, then this seems like a drastic change from what you might know.
I'm trying to think. From the cartoon, to be honest with you, this seems familiar. I have seen this before. They must have had this back in the days, because that's exactly how he looked.
Who?
The rock person.
The Thing? Yeah, I mean, yeah, they just
Thing.
made the Thing look exactly like he's supposed to look.
Mm-hmm. I knew he looked familiar. Did they fuck it up before? In 2000, I'm guessing?
Well, so the 2000s movies they were the early comic book movies. They're not really that good. They treat Reed more like a genius idiot. Ben Grimm is probably the best one of them all. Like he was portrayed fine. Johnny was the hothead, like sex addicted, try to hit on every girl he saw. And Sue was relegated to, hey, she's the woman. Like there wasn't anything that was, trying to be deeper than, hey, we just have four people who can do shit.
I heard Johnny was comic accurate, though.
So this Johnny in the comics is multifaceted. Like, is he a womanizer? Yes. Is there a fucking Is there a run in the comics where he literally slept with the woman who married Doom after she married him, like right after she married him? Yes. So, yeah, he's a piece of shit sometimes. But he's also intelligent. He's also willing to give his life for the cause because he's done it multiple times. Yes, he's a good leader. Yeah, he's multifaceted. And as good as Chris Evans portrayed him, he portrayed one facet of Johnny Storm, and he did it well. This guy in this new one, Joseph Quinn, he was a little more well rounded. He gave more credence to other aspects of Johnny other than just the chase and skirt guy.
Got it. It's like different Batmans. One did this, the other one did that. They
Yeah,
portrayed them differently.
yeah. And but they did that for everybody in this new one. Everybody was more well rounded. Like Pedro Pascal as Reed was exactly what we've been saying Reed is. He's the guy who overthinks. He's the guy who is afraid to not come up with the answer. But then he'll tell you, I don't know what the answer. And that will drive him to be even more driven to solve the problem. He doesn't always think about the consequences of what he says. He just says things because he works in the technicalities. So like that scene in the movie where he was like, "Oh, they want us to give up our son." And it makes logical sense for them to want that because we're sacrificing just one person to save everyone instead of seemingly put them in danger to protect one person, which is technically true. Nothing he said was wrong, but the way in which he said it made it seem like, oh, it's a matter of fact, like this is this is a good idea, and we're spitting in the face of a good idea. That's why she was so mad at him.
When I saw that part, I said, "Damn, it depends on whose shoes you in. If you the parents, hell nah. If you not, give up that baby for everybody."
Any other thoughts on this riff? Oh, there's one other thing we can get into comic book related before we jump into the other topics here. So no final thoughts.
No, no, I thought you was gonna say one final thing that I heard you say. Wait, one final thing. No, no
Yeah.
final thoughts.
All right. So Nia DaCosta, she's the woman who directed the Marvels, who came out and said that the reason the Marvels was messed up is because she didn't have like the solid script to shoot with. And James Gunn has alluded to this as well, in which Marvel would essentially, instead of having here's the script, it's locked in. This is the movie we're shooting, and then coming in and shooting whatever scenes you need to get and whatever dialogue you need to get, and then seeing if you can, seeing if there's anything you need to pick up later on or you can edit. They're both saying that the recent run of Marvel movies I would say outside of Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, they have actually been made by just here's paper. Say some of it, shoot some of it. We'll work out the rest of it as we're going. And then 6 months later, somebody's like, yo, I got a better idea. Bring everybody back. Let's shoot some more shit. Or they do a test screening and they go, none of this works. Bring them back. Let's try it again. Instead of having everything laid out, it's just hodgepodged together. Which we brought up like maybe 2 weeks ago or something, but that's an insane way to try to make a fucking movie. Cause how the fuck can you make the movie you want when you don't have the script to shoot the movie you want?
Have they been having success? Shit.
They haven't though. That's the thing.
What's going on here? Who decided to start shooting this like that?
you gotta blame the man on top. You gotta blame Fahey. He's the guy running the ship. It's got to be him to blame because there's no filmmaker in the world who turns around and goes, "Yo, I'm gonna make the movie for you, but I have partial script, and I might need to I might need to shoot a movie this year and redo the movie 6 months before we go live in the theaters." Because think about it. I just told you that Avengers Doomsday is halfway through shooting. They just added another character. So now how do you shoot his scenes? Is his scenes only with like in order to make him look like he's in the entire movie or enough of the movie, they're going to have to just film him doing shit and fix it in post.
Who thought of this? Wait a minute. I know who we forgot.
I don't know. There's got to be just the again. This is what I've been telling with Toe. This is why you can't bring in directors who have a vision. Because I'm pretty sure Neil DaCosta was like, "Yo, I have a dope ass vision for what to do with these three badass women who have superpowers." And Marvel was like, "Cool, but you got to tie in this show, this movie, and this thing." And now it doesn't become your movie anymore because your movie had nothing to do with those other shit. And now you got to figure out how to interlude your movie to add shit that has nothing to do with what you want to say. I mean, again, the TV show Secret Invasions told us that the Skrulls do not have a planet. Right? That Captain Marvel and Nick Fury were looking for a planet. They never found one. That's why all the Skrulls were on Earth. And immediately in Captain Marvel, or the Marvels, they're like, "Oh no, these motherfuckers have a planet, and we're gonna let it get destroyed. And I don't give a shit about saving everybody. And fucking run." So then they were right. Then the Skrulls on Earth were right, and you guys are pieces of shit because you left them here on Earth while there was a whole planet they could have been living on with their own people. Now, how does that tie into the movie you want to make about three badass women who have to learn to work together with their jumbled powers and work as, fucking get over their or find their adaptability to situations and grow as people and shit like that? How does that fucking help?
It's crazy. Go on, man. I got a mouth full of pizza. That's why I'm like,
You got a mouthful of pizza and a TV on in the background.
correct. So I'm trying to not ruin you.
Nah, this shit is just crazy. And I really think in order for Marvel to get back on track, they just need to go, "You guys know we're in a shared universe. We don't need to remind you every 10 seconds. Let's get a good script, a guy who could, somebody to direct the script, put out a good movie." They did that with Thunderbolts. They did that with Fantastic Four, despite shows, not being into it. And like I said, when Toe comes back, we'll get into more of that kind of reaction. But they did that already. The next thing they got to do is manage the budgets so that they're not so astronomical that you got to make $1 billion just to break even. Then what else? then I really think you got to slow down production and give people either the chance to catch up or the chance to miss you, because it is turning out that people don't want to be required to watch 57 other fucking things because this movie might reference one of them at some point. And if you didn't see it, you're not going to understand what the fuck's going on. I mean, it's almost becoming like the way of the Western. It's not going to be that bad because the Westerns, for anybody who's a movie historian, the Westerns were the fucking genre of movie. You couldn't make a movie that wasn't a fucking Western. And then one day people turned around and went, fuck that, I'm tired of seeing it. And they died instantly. And we didn't have Westerns for 50 fucking years. And even to this day, Westerns are not popular. They don't make that much money. I mean, certain ones are cool, but like not Seven Samurai, the one that what was it? The Magnificent Seven that Denzel Washington did.
Oh, I thought it was the Wild Wild West.
No, the Magnificent Seven came out, a remake of an old school Western and a remake of Kira Kurosawa's fucking Seven Samurai. It had to be done so slick and so stylized that it's not. It is a Western technically, but it's not shot like a Western because they got to trick the audience. Like it. Pretty soon, comic book movies are gonna be like that. And if you
They
give
gonna
me,
have to trick the audience.
yeah, if you guys just give me 1 second, I just gotta grab a bottle of water. I'll be right back. Let's see. Here's the topic: Bitcoin. Is it real currency or not? Talks amongst yourself.
It is right now. Shoot, if you got bitcoins, you got money. Dude, I'll take it if you don't want it. That damn toe tags, man. He shows up everywhere. Look, you leave for 5 seconds. There's pictures here. Couldn't wait for you to get a water. Crazy thing is, I was trying to look for information about James Fahey, and I can't find it. Like it's like the internet doesn't know who he is.
Because it's Kevin Feige, not James.
Ah, that's why they gave me James Gunn.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not I'm not used to talking this much for this long, so I just needed a little bit of water.
Dude, I'm so glad it was you and not me, bro. Cause I don't know shit. I don't even know Kevin Feige. It would have been trouble.
All right. We're gonna move on to our next segment here. This is where we're gonna show. This is the segment you're gonna shine because you know everything there is to know about this. We're talking about TTRPGs, tabletop role playing games. And I was gonna do like a more comprehensive comparison between Daggerheart, which is a new game system that came out, and the new Dungeons and Dragons. But to be honest, the new Dungeons and Dragons just updated a little bit of shit where you now have certain classes now have weapon mastery, meaning these guys are so proficient with weapons that you could do things like if I hit you, I can impose disadvantage on you in your next turn. If I hit you, I can give myself advantage. Or if I miss, I still caught you a little bit, and I could do a little bit of damage depending on my proficiency bonuses and shit like that I have. Right now, the state of D&D is in massive flux. D&D 25 or D&D 1, whatever the fuck they're calling it, this latest edition it started out hot. A lot of people, when they reviewed the book and the player's hand guide and the dungeon master's book, they were like, yo, this shit is actually well written. It's pretty good. But it has soon died out because of all the controversy with Wizards of the Coast. It has died out because the VTT server has completely died because they did not give a shit about it. They didn't know how to run it. They immediately fired everybody who had anything to do building it. And again, the VTT is the virtual tabletop. Instead of having it the way it should be, where it's just a virtual representation of your mini on the game board, where you can roll dice and all this other shit, they wanted to turn it into more like a video game. But D&D is not a fucking video game. Like, they wanted to charge. So you would make a digital mini, and they wanted to charge, hey, if you wanted to make your armor blue, pay $5. Well, here's the fucking problem. D&D is a game that you've seen us play on this channel. I could just say my armor's fucking blue now. And it's blue. I don't need to pay you $5 to see it represent it as blue on screen. I just fucking say it's blue. I'm just describing it. Like, it's all you can't monetize somebody's imagination.
Some people will pay it, I'm sure.
I'm sure some people would, but not enough people to make it viable, to make it profitable.
Profitable, right?
Because think about it. If I told you I can make your digital mini look exactly the way you want, right? And then import that mini into the video table, the virtual tabletop. Would you give a shit if there was an option to buy different armor that had nothing to do with the game we were playing?
Nope.
Scared and nervous. I was scared because,
So, like, what the fuck is the point? So, like I said, I was going to do a bigger comparison, but really this segment is going to be just talking about Daggerheart, the little bit that I know of it, because I've seen it played. I have not played it yet, and I have not DM'd it yet. I want to talk a little bit about it, and Cho, you're one of the perfect people to be here for this, because I would love to get your reactions as hearing how this game is played.
Let's go.
All right, so a little bit of background. I've mentioned this show a bunch of times, Critical Role. They made their own TTRPG, which is called Daggerheart. And it is a system, it's a role-playing system that instead of having a D20, you roll 2 D12s. So the main mechanic of the entire thing is you roll 1 D12 that is a hope die, 1 D12 that is a fear die. And whenever you're tasked to roll an action roll, you then roll both and you add the numbers together, and you got to tell me which is higher. Did you roll with fear, or did you roll higher with hope? If you rolled higher with hope, you gain a hope. So hope is a resource that you could spend to do a bunch of shit. All right. So you roll with hope, you gain a hope, and you get to do whatever you want to do. If you succeed, but it's with fear, well, you lose that hope. You still succeed, But now I, as the game master, get to take that fear to use later on as my own resource later on in the story whenever things pop up that I want to do.
Fire. You just gave me a bonus attack.
Yeah, so the things that I can do with fear, if I'm running the game, I have enough fear, I can just turn around and go. So the weird before I get into that, the weird part of this game is that there's no initiative. So fights literally just break out as a part of the story, and there's no initiative order. The heroes, the players, they can continue to go in two ways. One, if they keep rolling with hope, they can continue their turn and attack whatever the fuck's fighting them. So that's one way it can continue. The other way it continues is it has to be constant motion. If there's a lull in what the fuck is happening, if you guys are taking too long to do something, well, now I'm just gonna take the turn back, use my fear to activate monsters on my turn to attack, to do whatever the fuck I need them to do to hit you. So with that simple baseline, what do you think of those types of rules as compared to the few games you've played with us with D&D?
Funny thing is, they seem pretty similar. Like
So
it's basically like you said, you could say what you have. Like it the way you play it, it seems similar, so it would be pretty easy to catch on.
all right. So in the outset, you'd be cool with it. So now let's dive a little deeper. All right. On your turn, you get to do whatever your actions are, right? You might have to spend a hope or spend a stress to do whatever. So when we get to my turn, I'm going to attack you. You're rolling two d12s, right? I'm still rolling a d20. Now, when you do your character creation, you don't get a life total and an AC like in D&D. All right? You get a certain amount of hit points, like let's say 6 hit points, and then you get an armor slot that you can use to take away a hit, or you get an evasion score. So let's say your evasion score is 9. Well, I'm rolling a d20. So anything 10 to 20, I'm hitting you automatically. And now it is up to you to spend resources to negate that hit. And depending on how much I'm over your threshold, depends on how many hits you take. So you have a minor threshold, you have a severe threshold, and an extreme threshold. Let's say your minor is 2 points of attack. Your severe is 8 points of attack, and your extreme is 12 points of attack. If I hit you with a 12 points of damage, you lose 3 hit points automatically.
Damn.
If you don't have the resources to spare to bring that down. So now, what do you think? What do you think of that as compared to in D&D where your AC might be 14? So now I got to hit higher than a 14 to hit you.
Seems dope. It seems more helpful to the players because now they don't automatically get murdered. Like you could have 1,000, but I could lower that little by little.
Well, actually, so funny you say that. Death is so much easier to bring to a player it's so much easier to kill a player in Daggerheart that they have 3 ways or 3 options for you if and when your character dies. So when your character hits 0 hit points, you could choose to remain unconscious until some point where somebody can heal you. So effectively, you're out of the fight until the end where somebody can heal you. Or if they can heal you during it, but they can, they're gonna have to take their whole turn to do some shit. You could do something that's called what the fuck? I forgot what the fuck it's called. But essentially, you go out guns blazing, blaze of glory. There you go. You can go out in a blaze of glory, where you get to just go, hey, I'm gonna do this one move. It's an automatic success. It's an automatic critical. You do that one move, and then your character's dead. Or you could chance it and do 50-50 roll, where you roll your fear and your hope die. And if your fear is higher, you die. If your hope's higher, you come back to life.
I like that option better because it has a life option. The other one is just, I'm gonna hit you, but I'm gonna die.
Yeah, so you so you have 3 options there because what do you call it? Death comes a lot easier because instead of you having 32 hit points, and again, you have 32 hit points, I hit you for 10, you go down to 22. You have 6 hit points, I hit you for 12, I take away 2 hit points. That means you get hit 2 more times, you're done. And it's not like you can continuously spend armor to reduce shit down to 0. So you'd have to, it's a lot more managing of resources, a lot more number crunchy than D&D, which some of the things that bug me out a little bit is that, but it's also less impactful. Because let's say you do, so in order to get a critical in Daggerheart, you just have to roll doubles. It could be double ones, it could be double 12s, anywhere in between. All right. Let's say you do 56 points of damage.
Damn.
All right. That's a big ass hit. Well, if you're fighting a big enough monster, you hit one of the thresholds, you did 2 points of damage.
Damn.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as impactful because you're like, oh, I swung for all this damage, chipped him twice.
Word. How long do I have to hit? How many times do I have to hit him?
I mean, you can probably only have to hit him like to 6 hit points. But again, the damage thresholds, if you don't, like, let's say his threshold is 27 points, right? That's his maximum. You hit him for 27 points, he loses 3 hit points. Cool, but you hit him for 15, so now he loses 2. That time you hit him for 6, so he lost 1. You know what I mean? Like the damage and shit like that is not always as consistent.
Got you.
Because you can reduce how much damage is taken, and you got to hit a certain number to knock off a few hit points, as opposed to D&D or a similar game, an E5 game as they call it, where it's like, yo, I'm hitting you for 56 points of damage. That's a fucking massive hit.
Critical hit.
Yeah. So I have to play it in order to to actually get the feel for it because I've seen it played. But again, to me, it seems a little less impactful. But the fact that you show out of everybody that's played with us are sitting here is like, oh, that seems pretty cool. You're what do you call it? You seem to be a little into it and not sitting here like, oh no, that don't sound good. I don't want to fucking do that. Actually
Hell
gives
no.
hope that maybe we can switch over and play and run a game one time.
I'm
Because the
down.
cool thing is, this entire game is almost essentially free because they have a character creator that you can use for free. They have a website in which you can make your own cards, but it has all the library of cards, so you could print them out essentially for free. They're doing new shit all the time in the void where you could play test and do shit for free. I mean, the people behind it are really great. The system does seem to be good. There's campaign frames. So instead of D&D where I'm like, okay, what kind of game do you guys want to play? And then I got to make it up 100% on the spot. Go find inspirations. Go see how somebody else would run a game. Give me a genre of game you would want to play if we did D&D again.
A genre?
Yeah, like horror, suspense,
Uh,
fantasy, heist, shit like that.
probably suspense. Me until
All right. So and so you say suspense. If we're playing D&D, I got to figure all that out. Daggerheart actually has built-in campaign frames in which they already give you a setting. So you want to do suspense? Boom, you do Age of Umbra. Here's everything you need to know about this frame. So you can now run your game the way you want to, but you already have tools stepping you in the right way, in the right mind frame for the type of game that your players want to run. Which I think that's fucking dope. Because instead of giving me an adventure that I got to run by the book, you're just giving me the framework in which I can play. I think that's fucking dope.
and a lot easier for you as a host. You don't gotta make up stuff. It has built in. Well, I don't know what the word is. It's not built in.
No, it is built in.
A preset.
Yeah. So another nice thing is when you make your character, when you buy the official game, you make your character. It comes with physical cards and shit like that. So instead of looking through your character sheet and you're like, "Fuck, what? Where's that section where it says I can do that magic spell?" I can just hand you the cards for your character. So that way you can be like, "Okay, I'm gonna look through. Here's the card. I want to do this," and you can just read it off the card, which I think is dope.
That's dope too. A lot easier for me too. It tells you how much hit power it does, what it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Nice.
see if I can. Let's see if I can bring up an example of a Dagger Heart specialty card. Give me a second here. Might actually want to fucking spell shit correctly. Here. However, you can see that. I gotta turn down the brightness probably. So this is what the card would look like. All right, and out on it is otherworldly hunger. That's the name of it. Jesus Christ! There you go. So right on the card, it tells you that target a creature within far range, make a spell cast roll. On a success, outwardly otherworldly gate opens up behind them and brings them to the other. What? Opens up behind them and brings from the other side an an attack that deals 1d12 of magic damage. So you can repeat this same roll again on another creature within range, spending one hope for each. So here I'm gonna break that down. What that means. So that card basically says you you say I'm gonna use this card. You roll your dice. You hit. The gate opens up. You roll your damage die, which is a d12. You do however many damage you get. So if you do 12 damage, you see what that threshold is, how many hit points the monster takes. If you rolled with hope, you get to continue. So then you could spend a hope, attack a different target. And you can keep doing that as long as you keep rolling with hope and you have hope to spend. But if you roll with fear, so if you succeed and you roll with fear, you can attack that initial creature, but then your guys' actions stop and it becomes my turn as the DM to play. And then I get to attack and rebut everything you're doing. Is that easy enough to follow for you?
Heck yeah. The card is basically leading you. It's telling you what's gonna happen. Everything is fire.
All right, dude, you're giving me hope to actually maybe pick this up and run a game on
I
here one
roll
day.
it seems a little easier than D&D too. Like I said, it's basically preset, so you just gotta follow what the cards say and go along with it.
All right, cool. I honestly thought that this wouldn't be a game for you guys because it's a little more story driven. Like there's literal times where I would normally, as a game master, I would say, hey, we're going into the sewer system of this city. Show, you've been there before. Tell me what it looks like, and then you come up with whatever it looks like down there. And I know for certain players that's a little scary. And the no initiative thing scares me a little bit to run because it's easy for people to hide and just never do anything. Because other people are gonna be like, "Fuck it, I got so much shit I can do." If
But
you,
that's not how we're gonna play it. So yeah.
all right, I'll look into what do you call? I should have did back the Kickstarter, but I didn't know how the system was gonna work, and the play testing was a little wonky. Like the initial what they initially put out was a little more rough around the edges. And I've heard quite a bit of reviews of saying how good it is. I've heard quite a bit of reviews of established people going, this is not the kind of game we like to play. So it was holding me off from getting it because I backed a game called Tales of the Valiant, which is almost exactly like D&D, but we haven't played it because I haven't seen any fucking body play this game. So the character creating is a little weird. The spells and shit are all different, and I haven't seen it run. So I haven't seen what the pacing and the tempo and like what an actual challenge should be, what some of the monsters are. That's why I haven't run that one. So buying a game and not seeing anybody play it has got me to hold off on buying a game that I've seen people play, but that I didn't think anybody else would realistically try. But now I'm gonna look into it because shit. If show is giving it stamp of approval, that's all I need to know.
And I also like the that is from Critical. What are they called?
Critical Role.
There you go. I don't know their name, but I've seen they show they D&D, and I know they come from D&D, and that's cool because I know they're gonna make a game either better or something. They wouldn't just put anything out. They've
Yeah,
been watching D&D for so long.
dude. Have you watched the? Do you have Amazon Prime, or are you just using my shit?
No, no, I do now.
uh, you have access to Prime Video.
I do.
All right, Legends of Vox Machina. It is Critical Role's animated series about their first campaign. There's 3 seasons. They got renewed for, I think, 5. So they got renewed for 2 more. They also have another show called The Mighty Nine, which is based on their second campaign that's coming out later this year. But Legends of Vox Machina, check it out. It is one of the best fucking animes put put out. And even if you don't like animes, like Japanese anime specific, this is a very good animated show. And if you want to catch up on like what Critical Role has done or what these characters are, that's a perfect way to jump in.
Perfect. I've been looking for anime show to start with.
I'll tell you right now. Where's Yeah, so there's 3 seasons for Legend of Vox Machina. Season 4 is coming out soon. I think season 4 is coming out next year. They got renewed for, I believe, for a 5th season. Then they're also working on the Mighty Nine, which that's coming out in November. Which, for anybody who knows, the Vox Machina is the first campaign they did, but it started in the middle of what they were already doing. So they were playing at home, and then they decided to stream their game. So they kind of started in the middle. And the Mighty Nine is the first campaign that we got to be from first time these characters met all the way to the end. So it is the most beloved group of heroes so far. So I personally can't wait for the fucking Mighty Nine. That's probably going to be my favorite, and my favorite series they do. I'm going to see them in October, see the Mighty Nine, and probably their last live show in the world of D&D. So a big thing is happening where it's already happened live, but the video on demand hasn't come out. But in Gen Con in Indianapolis last month, or at the beginning of this month or in last month, they took their characters from this last D&D campaign and they put them all into this new Daggerheart game. So they played a game for the first time with their Daggerheart rule set, but with their Dungeons and Dragons characters. So we're gonna get to see for the first time how, like, what the differences are when you take a character from D&D and put them into Daggerheart. Which that's a big step for them. because their new season is coming out. I think in October. Their new campaign, and it already has a new guys DMing it, new players at the table. We don't know what system they're gonna run. So when they finally drop that video, it's gonna be a big test to see if fans are into it and if it was a successful venture to move from D&D to their own game. So that's just some exciting shit that I'm into coming down the pipe. Any questions there, show? Yep, there he goes. As always. He probably got called up. Where is he? He's jumping back in. There you go. What happened?
I went to unmute myself and hit the wrong button.
Yeah, so any questions, comments, concerns about this last subject?
Question: how many? What's the minimum players in this game?
Minimum one. Max I seen was 6 to 7. So to put it this way, they did an 8 episode miniseries with their Age of Umbra campaign, which is their horror gothic, like, suspense frame. They started out with 4 heroes. They got up to 6 heroes, and by the time the 8th episode ended, only 2 of them survived. So it is a deadly game. But it was, I enjoyed that miniseries. I can't wait to see, what else they come up with. But, enough about that. This main topic time. Yet again, this is a topic that shows an expert in. It is my review of the movie Weapons. I'm gonna look up this guy's name because I don't remember it off the top of my head. And I know Show didn't see this, so I'm not gonna hound him on that. But Zach Kreger, he's the guy who wrote and directed this movie. He also wrote and directed Barbarian, which Barbarian was a weird horror movie because it started out as one thing and ended out bananas. And this movie also kind of starts out as one thing, and then the reveal hits, and then it kind of gets bananas a little. But so essentially, Weapons is a movie in which it's said to be a true story that nobody's ever heard of, right? But essentially, what happens is in the middle of the night, one night, 17 kids out of a classroom of 18 run out of their house at 2:17 at night and run into the darkness, and nobody knows what the fuck happened to them. That's the setup. The movie has a mystery behind it because the whole time you're like, yo, what the fuck happened to these kids? But where the movie shines is the movie's not about finding the missing kids. The movie is about what the fuck happens now in the aftermath. Because where we pick up, it's like 2 months later. So the kids ran out. Then 2 months later, now the movie starts, and we follow individual people who are circling around these events. Starting out with the teacher, who's played by this, I don't remember her name, but it's played by the same woman who was the Silver Surfer in Fantastic Four. Who, you know what? Let me look up these names since I have access to the internet. Julia Gardner. All right, she's the teacher. We see her. We see how this has impacted her, and still 2 months later, everybody is still hounding her because they think she had something to do with the disappearance. We know that she didn't, or well, I mean, we think that she didn't in the movie, but she does. She does weird shit. You could tell that she was trying to get sober, but fell back in alcohol because of this whole incident. They keep saying that she does inappropriate things, but their standard of being inappropriate is more skewed because of our new way of, you know, our new way of life, so to speak, where there was like, oh, there was a kid crying, so she comforted the kid, and the principal was like, that was too much. Kid missed the bus. She's already driving in the direction where the house was, so she just drove the kid home. That was too much. You know, shit like that. But we see from her from her point of view, she's essentially being prosecuted by the town for the disappearance. But what's funny about this, it's 2 months later, so we see the initial crowd, the initial reaction to her, where she's getting hounded. But then in the resulting months, it literally becomes more her own paranoia about getting hounded, because you don't really, outside of one incident where somebody paints the word witch on the side of her car, she doesn't really get hounded. That she keeps hounding the principal to try to talk to the only kid who remained in their class. He keeps telling her no. He's like, yo, you gotta fucking relax. Take a step back. You're on sabbatical. You know, she's doing her own fucking thing. Then it jumps to one of the other characters. So she knows a cop. I'm going a little bit out of order here, just so I can connect where everybody fits in. She knows a cop. That cop shows up because she's, you know, drunk in a bar. She needs a friend. He shows up. This dude's married. He's not happy in the marriage. His wife is, though. He tells her that they're separated. He's also like an AA recovery person. Shouldn't have been drinking. She got him drunk. They banged. He went home. The wife found out. He was having a shitty day after that. He is doing, you know, he's on his patrol. He sees this kid breaking into a fucking warehouse, chases the kid down, asks the kid, hey, do you have anything in your pockets that could stab me? Kid says no. Puts his hand in the pocket, gets stabbed with a needle or something, knocks this kid out. Notices that it's all taking place on his police camera, on his dash cam. Picks up the kid and is like, yo, if you leave town, I'll forget about arresting you. You forget about the fact that I hit you. We're all kumbaya. He goes back and tells his boss, who happens to be his father-in-law, and the boss is like, yo, there's nothing I can do. Just lay low. Hopefully in a month, the video will get rewritten. You know, they will get written over, so everything will be swept under the rug. We're good. So in a movie about missing kids, we've spent a movie with the teacher who was teaching the class in which they went missing. How she was hounded, but is not really hounded that much anymore. There's maybe 1 to 2 people. One of them was a concerned father, which we'll get to. The other one is the wife of the dude she just banged. So I mean, it's warranted. We spent time with this cop who plays in towards the end a little bit, but he's there mostly to show that maybe she is being paranoid, that the town's not really looking at her the way she thinks they are. Then we move into Josh Brolin's character, who he's one of the fathers of the kids that were missing. And we see the frame from his perspective where he's sleeping in his son's room. He's constantly looking at the footage from the ring cam of his son running out, trying to find out what the fuck's happening. His wife is kind of like over him a little bit. Like he's in the room and she just walks by and was like, yo, fuck it, I'm going to work. One of those like, yo, you've been in here too long. Like, there's nothing more we can do type shit. So she's starting to get over it. He hasn't. He goes to his job site because he's a construction foreman. They're building a home. And you start to see how his inability to move on, or unwillingness to move on, it's affecting his work. He got the wrong type of shutters. The ones are siding. The ones that they wanted originally didn't come in because of some other thing. He got the wrong color paint. All this shit that you would think, oh, somebody else fucked up. He fucked up because he's not paying that much attention because his focus is on trying to find his son. We find out that he's the one who wrote Witch on the teacher's car. Then we are trying to find, what do you call it? He's trying to talk to the teacher because he's under the assumption that she knows something that she's just not telling the cops. So he eventually figures out, he confronts her, and we'll get back to that because that ties into something else. But he confronts her. Well, right before then, he actually figured out by watching the tape of his son where he was running to. And he was like, okay, there's a radio tower that we could see in the same direction his son was running. So took out his map, drew a line, and was like, all right, I need to find somebody else who has a ring cam to see where their kid run, to see if anything intersects, something, start somewhere. He goes up to this woman and is like, hey, can I look at your son or your child also ran out and disappeared? Can I look at your ring camera? She says no. He goes, all right, cool. Hangs back. The father comes up, talks to the father, and gets access to the ring cam footage and maps out an area in which the kids have to be, because that's where the two lines intersect. All right, so he has a big area. So now we switch over to the principal. And this is where the reveal comes in. So the whole time, we don't know what the fuck's happening because we're just dealing with the teacher, the cop, and Josh Brolin, the father. Now we get to the principal. The teacher did not listen, followed the kid home, tried to get into the house, couldn't, saw that the parents kind of looked like they were just catatonic, called up the principal and was like, yo, you need to get child services over there, or at the very least, go talk to them yourself. So the principal's like, fine, I'll fucking talk to them. You just stay away. He invites the parents over, but some weird woman shows up named Gladys. Now, before she showed up and was introduced, the teacher had a nightmare in which she went back into the classroom. All the kids were there, but they had their heads down, like playing that old school game 7 Up, where you put your head down and people tag
Yeah.
you and all that shit. So the kids are down, except for one kid, who's the kid who Alex, who was the only one who was left in the class. He picks up his head, but he's got weird fucking makeup that kind of looks like clown makeup, smiling at her. She opens her eyes, and there's a fucking just random woman coming through her ceiling with that same makeup. Josh Brolin has a nightmare in which he sees his son get up out of bed and run. So he's following his son. He follows him to this house where he doesn't know what it is. It looks like there's a M14 in the sky. It says 217. It's really confusing. He follows the son inside. The son's laying in bed. He's trying to wake him up, and when he turns, bam, it's the fucking woman again with the clown makeup. So we're like, what the fuck is happening? We come back to the principal and Gladys. Gladys walks in. That's the fucking lady from the nightmares. She walks in with her makeup done, her like a cancer wig. The makeup's off-putting because it's not fully set. It looks like she overran her lips with the lipstick and her eyes with the eyeshadow. And it's really fucking weird. So she talks to the principal and is like, yo, the parents are sick. I came in to help them. I'm talking on their behalf. Principal's like, damn, that's weird. I need to talk to them. Maybe I'll set up a meeting at some other point. Thanks for coming in, but I really need to speak to them. My man is chilling at home like a few days later. Him and his husband, they're making lunch, watching a fucking documentary. Knock on the door. It's Gladys. She gave a sad story about how she missed the bus. She had to walk halfway across the town. Can't she just come in for a second? The principal is smart enough. It's like, no. Why are you here? You can't come in. You gotta go. But his husband is a little more sympathetic. He's like, just fucking let her in. So they let her in. She asked for a bowl of water. He's like, a bowl of water? She's like, yeah, I know I'm weird. Just go with it. I don't even fucking, I don't even question myself why it's a bowl of water anymore. This is where the twist comes in. She takes out a twig that has thorns. It's wrapped in ribbons that the principal had in his office, and he's like, "Yo, is that my ribbons? What the fuck is happening?" She attacks the husband with scissors, cuts his hair. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck is happening? We gotta call the cops." She takes the hair, puts it on the twig with the other ribbons, slices her hand with some blood, snaps the fucking branch. When she did that, the principal fell under her control, beat the shit out of his husband, vomited some like black liquid, head bashed him, just headbutted him until he obliterated his husband's face. He was fucking left like bug-eyed and all fucked up, covered in blood. She threw the shit in water, and he stopped. Now, earlier with the teacher, there was a creepy ass scene where she was camped out, trying to see if maybe she could see somebody come in and out of the house. She fell asleep. The mom fucking walked out like a fucking robot with the scissors in her hand, went to the door, walked around, found out that the other side was open, and the whole time you're only looking at the fucking teacher. You only see the mom when she passes the window at first, and then she goes around. You don't know where she is, what she's doing. She comes in, she cuts this bitch's hair while she's asleep. All right, creepiest fucking scene in the movie. Great fucking build the tension. But we find out now with the principal who's standing there after killing his husband. This lady takes the hair from the teacher, wraps it around a different part of the branch, snaps it again. This motherfucker takes off running. He just beelines. Somehow knowing exactly where she is at this moment. I guess it's because they had the hair. They had something personal. So he was sent like a weapon, like a homing missile, straight at the fucking teacher, who is now, as we cut back, talking to Josh Brolin. And she's like, yo, you're threatening me, you're doing all this. And he's like, yo, I'm not threatening you. I just want fucking answers. She sees the principal running down the block. Principal catches up, boom, jumps on her, tries to fucking attack her. Josh Brolin takes him, fucking gets him in a headlock, fights him off. The principal throws him off, chase the teacher around the convenience store with the gas station. Brolin winds up knocking him into the drink section. And, things get, they give her a nice moment to get up, run out, get in her car, and get the fuck out of Dodge. Brolin gets in his car. He's trying to chase after them because the principal is just gunning for her, just running after her. As he's running, boom, he gets hit by a car and killed. So now the teacher and the father they're like, yo, what the fuck is happening? They start teaming up and they're like, yo, I got a map. This is where my son ran. This is where this kid ran. This is where they intersect. And the teacher's like, yo, I know this house. This is the house of the kid who's the only one who was left in my class. So then the movie switches to another character. Excuse me. The junkie. The guy who the cop arrested and punched in the face. We see him. He's a drug addict. He's low on money. He tried to break into this thing. He got chased by the cop. He goes back to his place. He sees Gladys sitting in the fucking woods just waving at him. He's like, yo, what the fuck is going on? He needs money. He doesn't think twice. He needs money. He's walking around trying to see, where he can rob some shit. He notices this house boarded up, papers in the driveway, doesn't look like anybody's home. He breaks in. He's trying to steal all the fucking, the cutlery and whatever he can get his hands on. He sees the parents. But the parents are catatonic. They're not doing anything. So he continues robbing the place. He goes downstairs in the basement. What does he find in the basement? The 17 kids. He gets out. The parents all of a sudden now get up. They're weaponized. They're trying to attack him. He escapes. He tries to go to the police station to tell them, hey, I know where the fucking kids are. But he sees the cop. The cop told him not to fucking come back here. So the cop chases him. Cop catches him. He sees Gladys again. He's freaked out that somebody's gonna get him. That when the cop opens up the fucking tent, he stabs him in the face with more needles, thinking that that's Gladys or whoever from the house. All right, so the cop arrests him. He's like, yo, I know where these kids are. So the cop and the junkie go to the house to investigate to see where the kids are. Then we cut to the final part of the story. Alex. He's the only kid who survived, who didn't run out at night, the only kid who was left in that class. We find out that his mom's aunt Gladys is coming to stay with them because she's sick. And this is where we find out that Gladys is a witch. And she came hoping to use her witchcraft to heal herself, but the mom and dad alone are not enough for her to be healed. So she tells Alex, yo, take something personal from each one of the kids in your class. He takes name tags that they all made, brings them to the witch. She's doing a fucking ritual. So we know what the 217 means in the movie. The whole time we're like, yo, what is 217? What is the significance? Well, in the movie, the significance is this kid woke up at 2:15 at night, went down to see what the fuck Gladys was doing, and 2 minutes later, she finished her spell, and all the kids ran into her house, ran down into the basement. And then we find out that Alex has been living these last 2 months, having to feed his parents soup, having to feed all the kids downstairs soup, essentially taking care of everybody who's catatonic and at the beck and call of this witch who is getting better. Right? So then it all culminates with the cop taking the junkie back to the house. The cop walks in, and let's say 11 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time the cop walks out, it's now got to be 6, 7 o'clock. He walks out, again, like a fucking robot, grabs the junkie, they go back inside. A few minutes, hours later, the teacher and the fucking father roll up. They see the cop car, and they're like, yo, this is weird. Why is there only one cop? They go into the house. They don't know, but there's salt lines drawn everywhere. And the witch tells the kid, yo, do not cross the salt line. Whatever you do. So father and the teacher walk in. They, unbeknownst to them, cross the line. The junkie and the cop attack. This leads to one of the funniest fucking scenes here, because while the cop and the woman are legitimately having a struggle, like she's trying to fight him, she's peeling this motherfucker's face with a potato peeler. She shoots him in the neck. He's still going. She finally gets him to stop by shooting him in the head. The father is fighting the junkie, but he doesn't have any lethal weapons on him. So he hits him. He's like, cool, I knocked him out. The junkie gets back up. He fucking hits him again. The junkie gets back up. And it becomes this thing of every time Josh Brolin, the father, does something, we're like, cool, that ended the fight. The junkie would get back up. Until he got shot in the head. And then it became this race because Alex, the kid, he stepped over the line in order to trigger his parents to move away from the door that they were guarding. So he ran around. They're chasing him. They're trying to, like a fucking zombie apocalypse, they're trying to claw down doors, breaking shit, trying to get to him. The teacher is like trying to recover. Josh Brolin, the father's like, yo, I'm gonna find out where the fuck my kids are, or where my kid is. He goes down to the basement. He sees the kid. He's looking for the kid. He sees Gladys. Gladys attacks him, takes his dog tag. Bam. Snap the branch. Now he's a weapon for her. He comes upstairs. He starts attacking the teacher. Right? He's got her in a choke. He's trying to choke the life out of her. She's fighting for her life. The kid is fighting for his life, trying to run around away from the parents. He gets into her room. He finds the tree where all the branches are. He takes a branch. He takes something from all the kids. He takes a piece of hair from Gladys. Takes his blood because he's seen her do it. Snap. And this is the bananas fucking ending. Gladys, who is about to monologue about how she's going to get away with all this shit to the teacher as she's getting choked out, realizes, oh shit, I don't have control of these kids. Somebody else does. Panics, runs out of the house, and is now getting chased by a horde of 17 deranged fucking kids who are now targeted at her. And she's breaking into people's houses. And they're like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And then 17 kids would crash in. And then she'd break into run through somebody's backyard, 17 kids chasing her. Hit another house, it was hilarious and funny in a way that's like cathartic. Because you're like, yo, we know she's going to get her comeuppings. And this is like, yeah, bitch, you better run. You better fucking run as fast as you can. Because when you can't run anymore and they catch you, it's going to be great. And sure enough, the kids catch her on the front yard of somebody's house. And they literally rip her to shreds. Pull her arms off, put her hands off, take her mouth, pull her fucking jaw apart. They're fucking biting her. They kill her. And once she dies, anybody who was under her control like snaps out of it. And then it's said by the narrator that Alex had to move away to somebody else, to a different aunt. His parents were put in a mental institution. The kids were returned home. Not all of them fully recovered. Some of them started talking because now the narrator is telling us the story from 2 years after the events. So what we're seeing is what happened 2 years ago after the kids disappeared. So the narrator is telling us within the last 2 years, some of the kids started talking again. And then the movie ends. And it was fucking... is a bananas ride to go through. It was well written. It was well directed. Each character you could see their flaws, but except for the cop. The cop was just a piece of shit, to be honest. But you could see their flaws, but you can also see that the teacher did care. She gave a shit about why her kids went missing. She just didn't know how to effectually help or what to do. You see that, yes, this was consuming Josh Brolin, the father. But again, his kid is missing. Like, what do you expect him to do? Then you see the effects of people who are not directly affected, like the principal, where life just moved. It just went on for him. 17 kids in one of his classes disappeared, but life had to move on for him. He had to be the principal to the rest of the school, to the rest of the parents. You see how the effects on the junkie who had nothing to do with anything. The effects of the cop, it was really well put together. And it was one of the better horror movies that I've seen in a long while, that wasn't so much like
let's just get in here and scare the shit out of you for the sake of it. Like, this was just a good movie. Any comments or questions, show? Is show even still here? I guess not. Oh, my recommendation for the whole movie, I'm gonna definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I recommend, like we said in the short, recommend everybody to go see it if you're a fan of horror. If you're just looking for something to do, it's a good time. We have hit our witching hour, our normal hour of ending shit. Show's off this week. Not show. Toe is off this week. Show took over yesterday for the Monday watch along. I took over for today. Keep an eye out. Who knows what the rest of this week will hold? If somebody's going to take over tomorrow for sports, if somebody's going to be here for the wrestling or for the Toe and the Show, we don't know yet. But keep an eye out on all your social media platforms. An announcement should be made somewhere. If not, come back here and check again at 9 o'clock. You know what to do. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, do all that YouTube shit to help grow this channel. That was Show and all of his insightfulness. I have been Vic, your faithful one-man talking show, one-man talk show for today. Any final words now that you're back?
Nah, brother, nah. My bad. I would have been more like I told you. I don't really know much, but I will learn with you.
Hey, you're like that Aaron. You know who Aaron Neville is?
Nope, but I will learn. Go
Jesus
ahead.
Christ. Dude, where have you been? You don't know. Anyway, before I have an aneurysm, ladies and gentlemen, he's been Show. I've been Vic. This has been the Comic Book Podcast. Good night. God bless. Peace out.